Good evening and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this evening finds you well, whatever you are up to. And I hope that you are finding a little bit of holiday cheer in your day, your evenings, doing what it is that you love to do this time of year. We have Hanukkah coming up. I believe it's tomorrow. So starting out Hanukkah and just enjoying the celebration of friends and family. And however you take the season in, I hope it's wonderful. For me, I'm a little bit slow this year on getting my Christmas tree up. Usually, I am the one that wants to have it up right after Thanksgiving and getting into the holiday spirit. And I've been just a little bit slow doing that this year. So, hopefully, this weekend, I can get the interior decorated. Of course, my husband has the outside all decorated and has been excited about that. Usually, that's just the opposite in our household. We do the interior first and then we worry about the lights on the exterior of the house. So, doing it a little bit differently this year. We've had, the full moon last week or so, and I think we're in Mercury retrograde again, lots going on in the cosmos. And it's been feeling just a little bit heavy. My sleep has been really interrupted with all of that. But the last day or so has just felt a little bit lighter. And even today, a little bit lighter. And so I thought, I wonder what's going on. So I went to Deborah Silverman Astrology. I don't know if you know who she is, but if you don't know who she is, highly recommend you go check out her YouTube channel and check out her website. She is a magical astrologer, and I follow her. She's just wonderful. And there is just a little bit of lightness yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I'm feeling that. I'm like, wow, what's going on? Because I just feel a little bit lighter. Things feel a little bit different. And so there's a lot more air and fire. And so when you combine those two, you get all kinds of fun and craziness and laughter. And so hopefully in tonight and tomorrow, you're going to be able to feel some of that silliness and the laughter and the lightness and take that all in because it's so important, especially this time of year, to have a little bit of that lightness. Sometimes the holidays can come with some real heaviness for some. And so having this little bit is a real nice breath of fresh air. And so with that, I thought, maybe I should pick a card for everybody tonight. And so the card that I picked was Cupid. And Cupid, it's about not only loving others or having love in your life, but loving yourself, right? Taking care of you, loving yourself, and bringing in that love and that self-love, right? It's about honoring that piece of you and bringing in all of the goodness of that. So I just wanted to read just a bit what it said in the book. We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this awakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all its glorious aspects. And other meanings, surrounding yourself with romantic beauty, such as roses and candles. And I can say, for one, this time of year, I love lighting all the candles because, of course, it's a lot darker, a lot earlier, staying darker longer. And so I love the ambiance of having candles in the house and the way that the light reflects into the house. And so to me, that gives me that feeling of enjoyment, of love and beauty. And so whenever I can, I love having the candles lit. And so whatever that is for you, I hope that you take this opportunity to provide yourself just a little extra love and light and a little bit of fun and giggleness with the energies that are playing out in the cosmos right now. So I hope that you are enjoying your day and your evening, whatever you are doing, and that it brings you much joy and much love. All right. We are going to head to the phone lines and we are going to take a caller. We've got Andrea in Staffordshire, England. Good evening, Andrea, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. What can I
Good,
do for
good.
you?
I just wanted to call if I could.
So are you just looking for a general reading or are you looking for
Yes,
uh,
that'd be brilliant.
just
A
a general
general would be
reading?
brilliant.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, give me a minute here as I tune in. There'll be just a little bit of silence as I'm doing that, and then I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Andrea, you have a lot of loved ones and guides on the other side. And they were all kind of stepping forward. One in particular, there was a gentleman coming through, um, and he's just wanting you. He's wanting to just extend this really big hug to you, and let you know how
Thank
much
you.
you are loved, how much, it's like he's saying, you just need this big hug right now. And he just wants to reach out and give that to you. Um, he's also saying that, right now is a perfect time for you to shine your light bright. Um, Even if maybe you don't feel like shining it, it's so important for you to do that right now because you're such a bright light. And you're such a help to others, and he's just wanting you to know that and to give you that clarity, that what you're doing matters. Okay.
Thank
um,
you.
it feels like there's been a lot that you've had on your shoulders. I feel like there's this weight sitting on top of my shoulders right now. And so it's even more important when you're going through a time like that, to know that you have support, that
Thank you.
you have the support and the love and the guidance, not only from loved ones that have passed and your guides, but also the people that are around you. And so being able to lean on those people at this time to let them help you and give you the support that you're needing. Okay.
Thank you.
Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Um, It also feels like there's been like this feeling of heaviness around you, almost this feeling of like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not, maybe not giving enough. But this just feeling of not doing enough. And your guides are here to tell you, oh my gosh, you give 150%. And
Yes,
sometimes you just need to be able to take a breath and step back and say, you know what, I can't do any more. I can't give any more than what I'm doing right now. And be able to take a step back and be able to take that for yourself. and give back to you. Um,
Yeah, I understand.
there's because they're saying if you don't do that, if you don't take a breath, take a step back and do something for you, whatever that looks like, right? It could be just taking a day off. It could be, if someone says, "Oh, can you help me with?" and you say, "You know what? Not today. Maybe I could do it tomorrow. I could do it next week." Right? But taking that break so you don't burn out. And that's what they're showing me, like you're getting close to
Yeah,
burnout, and they don't want you to get to that point.
yeah.
Okay? Um and saying
I do
and
need to
saying
slow
no,
down.
yeah, saying no is okay, right? It's not a bad thing. Um so many of us want to make it a bad thing, including myself. I have a hard time saying no, but I'm learning. Yeah, I'm learning more and more to say no. I've hit boundary. I have to take some time for me, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's what they're asking you to do right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um, what they're saying is if you can take that step back and you can take that time for yourself and recharge yourself, you're going to be even more powerful, and not powerful in an egotistical way, but more powerful and able to assist others and help others in what you're doing.
Yeah,
And you'll be able to accomplish a lot more. And they said it's not going to take much for you to be able to to be able to recharge and then get back into the game. Um, because that's what makes you happy, right? Is
yeah,
is staying in the game, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Um, so I'm hearing a song, the lyrics, "Please don't go." Um, are you are you doing some shifts and changes in your life, or are you contemplating leaving something or doing something, um, and someone is asking you not to go, not to leave? Um, it feels
yeah,
like it could be around a job, maybe.
yeah,
Okay, so someone's trying very hard to get you to stay where you're at.
yeah. I understand that.
Um, So I think this is where the burnout, they're showing me this is where the burnout is coming from. Um,
Yeah,
so they're saying if you can take some time off, um, it will help you get a clearer mind as far as what it is that you need to do. Okay. It's getting away, it's stepping away from that situation so that you can get back far enough, because right now you are so in it that you're having a hard time getting that larger view of things. It's what I call like the eagle or the hawk's view, where you're sitting up in the tree and you're looking down and you can see everything. You can see the entire countryside, right? Rather than having the view of the mouse who's just trying to sift through the blades of grass. Okay? So if you
yeah,
can get some time and step back from it, you'll get a lot bigger perspective.
yeah. Definitely. Okay.
Okay? Um, they're not showing me whether you should stay, whether you should go. What they're saying right now, you need to sit with this and and think about the options and look at it from the hawk's view, okay? Before you make any
Yeah, definitely.
decisions.
I'll definitely
Um,
do that.
yeah.
Mm.
I just heard the words no hasty decisions, okay? Make sure it's the ones that count. That if whatever your decision is, you can say that was the right decision for me. Okay, that's going to be the most important thing.
Okay.
Okay. Um, um, I'm trying to see if there's anything else um, that they are wanting to show um, or to tell you. They're kind of stepping back right now. So I don't know if do you have another question related to any of this?
No, no, no.
Okay. Okay. Because they're not really showing me
Okay.
anything.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they're just kind of stepping back a little bit. So um yeah, I don't know. So if unless you have another question, I'm not sure I have anything else for you.
No, no, that's brilliant. Thank you. Really appreciate you reading for me.
You're very welcome. Have a nice evening.
And you. Thanks very much.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Darlene in Ontario, Canada. Good evening, Darlene, and welcome to your time to shine.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
I would just like to know, um, uh, just like a few things. I've had quite a lot going on lately.
Okay.
One of them being with one of my dogs I had passed recently, so it's been hard on me. I've had him for 10 years, and I just want to know, I don't know if you can give me any insight on that, or I would like to know if I have any changes coming up anytime soon, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay. All right. I am so sorry about the passing of your fur baby. It's so hard when they go. We get so attached to them. We really do. So I my heart goes out to you. Um,
Thank
let
you.
me see what I can find out. I don't connect as easily to pets, but I might be able to talk to spirit and find out information about your pet um, to see if there's anything that they can that they can find out. Is there something specific that you're looking for about your pet?
I just want to know that he's not alone. Something like that.
Okay. All right.
My biggest thing was he was attached at the hip to me, so it's
Yeah.
hard to think that
Right.
he'd be alone. And
Sure. Well, Darlene, let me take just a minute here and tap in, and then I will be right back with you. Okay. So there's just going to be a little moment of silence as I do this.
sure, no problem.
Okay. Okay, Darlene. So, Spirit is showing me your loving pet, sitting there with a big smile on his face. He is. It's funny because you said he's still attached. He was attached to you at the hip, and he's still there in spirit. He's still attached to you. Still, like it's like he's so close to you that he literally is attached to your leg. It's like that's what they're showing me. Like literally, he's still there in spirit. And, um, he's very happy on the other side. He's doing well. What they're showing me is almost like, when dogs put their head down and they kind of look at you with those big eyes and like, okay, and mom, I know that you're hurting. I know that you're upset. And he's wanting you to know that he's good and he's happy and he's feeling so bad that you are hurting from his passing. And he wants you to be happy, of course. And, as humans, we have to grieve. And I'm not saying don't do that, but he's just wanting you to be happy and wanting you to know that he's right there by your side. And it's almost like he's almost like he's doing circles around you and around your feet. Um, was he one of those dogs that you kind of tripped over a little bit because he was always underfoot?
Yep, yep. That would be him.
Yep, yep. So he's just showing me he's just like around and around and around your feet, and then he stops and he's like really, really close to you. He's almost like leaning into you. Um,
Yeah.
so um, you know, know that he's still
Is he
around.
alone or?
Oh no. No,
Okay.
he's got family and loved ones on the other side. He's got some of your family members there, like watching over him, and they're like standing right
Oh,
there. I see a man in uh, almost like he's almost got like farming clothing on. He's like overalls or something, and he's standing there. The dog is sitting at his side, and he's like petting his head, and so he's most definitely with loved ones on the other side.
okay. That's amazing.
Um,
And do you see like any changes coming up for me?
let me see what they say. What I'm feeling right now is that I just want to sit back and take a big sigh, almost like a sigh of relief, like, okay, that part's finally done. Like where you can just sit back and reflect and go, wow, okay, I got through that. Didn't think I would. Um, so what they're showing me right now is it's a time right now of good reflection of what is it that during this time you can look back on and go, oh, well, I learned this. Oh, and I definitely learned this. It could be things like, um, looking at things from a different viewpoint is what they're showing me. Like how could you have looked at things differently? Or what was something that you thought, oh, I never thought it would turn out that particular way, right? Because there's always messages in the things that we go through, and sometimes until it's over and you're taking that big sigh of relief, you can't really see what it is that you were supposed to know, why things turned out the way they did. And so what they're showing me is like this is like a period for you to just go back and reflect on some of that stuff. You're probably not out of it yet. You're probably just on the cusp of like getting through that where you can take that big sigh of relief. But they're showing me that there are changes on the horizon for you. Um, one of the one of the big things that they're showing me is a shift in your job, or something within the job itself. Maybe not shifting jobs, but there's a shift with what maybe you might be doing within that job. Um, it feels like there's something coming with that. And so being being ready for that, being prepared for that. Um,
Is it a
I
good
don't see it as
shift, or
bad. I'm sorry?
is it a good shift, or
It is. It feels like it's
good
a very
shift in the job?
positive
Okay.
shift. Yeah, it feels like it's a very positive shift. Um, they just keep saying, be ready for it, be ready for it. So I don't know if it's one of these things that you've been him and hawing around with something for a while, and it's like when it comes around, it's going to be here fast and quick, and you may have to take action on it, right? So I think that's where that, be ready for it is coming from. Um, there's also something coming around with relationships. So not only I mean, this could be relationships with friends, right? There's some shifts coming around where some people may be maybe falling off from your friendship radar, or things may be shifting. And they're saying whatever happens or whatever comes through, just let it happen and know it's in your highest and best. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and actually, Darlene, we're coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I'm going to have to wrap it up for this evening. But I want to thank you for calling in and hope it's been helpful for you.
Yes, it has. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a happy holiday.
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Well, that does it for me this evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please visit my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Reach out to me if you would love to have a personal one-on-one reading. I've got a couple more slots for December. You can also reach out to me for some gift certificates for those who are looking for a reading. Other than that, have a wonderful week, and I will see you again next Thursday.